Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you guys are. Early morning, I thought I'd record a video. Guys, so we've got some news about the pay-per-view numbers on Saturday night, and it's caused a lot of stir, a lot of back and forth between Eddie Hearn and Leonard Ellaby. It's all kicking off. DAZN have come out and said that Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin has done 1 million pay-per-views worldwide. And the reported number was 550,000 pay-per-view buys. I think it's fair to say that DAZN hasn't really worked. And what I mean by that is, this was supposed to be a massive fight. This was supposed to be a mega fight. And let's be brutally honest, those numbers are very disappointing. When you think about the fact that the Canelo Golovkin fight, both fights did over 1 million pay-per-view buys in the US, to think that this trilogy only did 500, and it was quite widely anticipated. I don't think it was ever going to be as big as the first or second fight. But I think the fundamental problem is it did about half of what the first two fights did. And what that tells me is that the platform DAZN have, it's not reaching out to the masses. I mean, HBO had a massive platform and they reached the masses. I don't think DAZN is. Irrespective of their marketing, irrespective of how much money they got, I just don't think people are taking to the fact that it's on an app and it's not on a TV. You can connect it to your TV, but it's hard work. I mean, a lot of people today, they haven't got time to connect it to your mobile, connect your laptop to your TV. I mean, people ain't got time for that. They want easy accessibility. They want to watch it on TV. They want easy to get to it. You know, they don't want to have to connect things, you know. Some people don't know how to. I mean, so that's probably why DAZN are, I think DAZN are, I haven't seen them do any numbers that are massive. I mean, Eddie Hearn's come out and said, oh, that Dan Rafael's talking rubbish. I think Eddie's lying. I think Eddie knows, Eddie's feeling the pinch, to be honest with you. I think he knows that DAZN, he's not delivering the numbers. Or DAZN, they're not really delivering the numbers. I mean, let's be brutally honest. The fact that Anthony Joshua's lost, Canelo, who they expected to deliver big numbers, he's not really delivering. And it's not Canelo's fault. I just think it's the fact that it's the lack of accessibility. I mean, Eddie Hearn said that, no, who wants to watch TV now? Everyone wants to watch it on an app. Yeah, people, the young kids. But a lot of the adults, like my dad, for example, like, he knows how to, obviously, uses a phone, but he doesn't have the knowledge of using a phone like I do. I mean, the older generation, they don't have, like my granddad don't know anything about apps. I mean, you know, he would watch Canelo fight if it was on TV. But who, you know, how many people are not watching those fights because of the lack of accessibility? I mean, the fact that DAZN haven't done any big numbers, and I mean, 500,000 pay-per-view buys is okay. It's not great. I mean, we've seen these type of fights. Canelo Golovkin have done over 1 million. I mean, to come out and say they've done over 1 million pay-per-views worldwide. I mean, this fight was on pay-per-view in many territories, so it could have done 200,000-300,000 in the UK. Could have done maybe 100,000 here, there, X, Y, 50,000 here, there, where. But the point is that Dan Rafael's post of 550 to 570,000 pay-per-view buys in the US is probably right. It's probably right, but that's not great. I mean, when you think about it, is that great? No, that's not great. When we think about it, it's not great at all. I mean, I in my opinion, in my personal opinion, I think DAZN are struggling, in my opinion. And I think it comes down to the accessibility. I think it comes down to the fact that I don't think DAZN is easily accessible. I think on the app, I think it only relates to certain people. And I think HBO had a much bigger scope. They had a much bigger audience. They had much bigger, they had just much more subscribers and much bigger audience, where I don't think DAZN have that. And hence why I think DAZN are struggling, because a fight like Canelo Golovkin, irrespective whether it was a faded Golovkin, I think it should have done more pay-per-view, but I don't think it's got anything to do. I don't think it's got anything to do with Canelo's star power falling. I don't think it's got anything to do with Canelo not being that star. No, it's just the fact that I think Canelo's doing huge numbers, for the fact that I think the lack of accessibility is affecting Canelo. So Canelo's numbers are being affected because of the platform. In my opinion, this is my opinion. I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't know whether I'm right. I might be wrong. But this is just my opinion, because Canelo fought Plant, and we heard that fight did over 800,000 pay-per-view buys. How can Canelo Golovkin do 550? I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't matter whether Canelo Plant was for Undisputed. Canelo Plant is not a bigger fight than Canelo Golovkin 3, and that was for Undisputed. That was for all the belts. You know, it doesn't make sense. It comes down to the platform and the lack of accessibility, in my opinion, because there's no way that DAZN should be, I mean, yeah, there's no way. There's no way, I'm sorry. So for me, it comes down to that, really. I think that's why Canelo's numbers are not doing that great. Against Bivol, we heard he did about 500,000. You know, and I was surprised, because I thought Canelo could fight anybody and do huge pay-per-views. But the fact is, if you're on a platform which your buys are going to be limited because of the way it's bought, the way it's viewed. I mean, it's clearly DAZN, although they've done good things. I think they've come in and done some good things. But I think what's really hurting them, I think the fact that they said there'll be no pay-per-view. I think when the fact that they come out and said that the pay-per-view's dead and there's going to be no pay-per-view, and now they're doing pay-per-view, I think they've effectively, DAZN is like a sinking ship, in the sense that their initial statement is killing them right now. And what I mean by that is that them coming out and basically saying that pay-per-view, we're not going to be doing pay-per-view, I think has hurt them, because basically you misled the fans. I mean, you sold the fans one thing, people bought into the membership, and now they're having to pay. Even me, like on the weekend when I had to pay for it, 10 quid or whatever it was, I was like, wow. To me, it's like, I like boxing, so 10 quid's not that much, but still, it adds up because I'm paying membership. And Eubank Ben is going to be on pay-per-view as well. And this is what I mean. And then the fact is that there's no real difference. The only difference is I'm paying a membership a month, which obviously you do with Sky as well. But I'm paying membership a month. So basically, DAZN are no different to any other platform now. Basically, all the big fights are going to be on pay-per-view. So effectively, their model didn't work. Their model didn't work. Hence why they had to change it. And now the fans are peed off, because the fans look at it and think, firstly, because if DAZN go on pay-per-view and do a membership, the reason why people wanted to get DAZN, because it was just membership and they thought, oh, it's no pay-per-view. But now all of a sudden, if DAZN start to do exactly what the other broadcasters do, the difference is that the other broadcasters are easily accessible, whereas DAZN aren't. They're on an app. So now you've got that, and the fact that your accessibility is not great, I mean, you're competing, you've got no chance. So for me, DAZN, it's going to be tough. For me, it's going to be tough for, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough for DAZN, in my opinion. If DAZN, if DAZN carry on doing this, I think the numbers are never going to be huge. I think they're going to struggle. I do think they're going to struggle, and I don't know whether, unless DAZN get other big sports and start getting traction from other sports, I do think boxing alone is going to be tough for them to crack. I mean, I think the fact that I think initially that they put out that message of, saying that they're not going to do pay-per-view, I think that really hurt them. I think that's really hurt them as a business. I think sending out mixed signals like that, I don't think ever helps, because people think that, yeah, this is not going to be pay-per-view. They're excited, and all of a sudden, then you just turn out to be like everybody else. But then you don't also have the accessibility that the others have. Like, Sky are easily accessible. You press a red button and you can order a fight, and you watch the fight on TV. Here, it's on an app. It's on an app. Unless you're watching the phone on the app, you have to connect it to your laptop. Then put it on your laptop, then connect it to your TV. I mean, that's a lot of work. I mean, who wants to do that? And to be honest, the prices that they're charging is exactly the same. So to be honest with you, I'm not sure how much success DAZN's gonna have. And to be honest with you, I don't think the numbers on DAZN are going to be massive or huge, because I don't think DAZN gets out to the masses like some of the other big broadcasters like Sky do, or even HBO was back in America back in the day, or Fox. Because you look at it, Canelo fought Plant on Fox, and obviously the numbers, and Plant's unknown. I mean, Golovkin's well known in America. Plant's unknown, and the fight did 700,000-800,000. That means they've got a model there that works. They've got a platform there that's been running for a very long time, and they obviously appeal to the masses, whereas DAZN is new. And like I said, the way of consuming the content is different. But the way that content is consumed is not for everybody. So hence why the numbers are smaller. Even, I reckon you could do any fight on there. I reckon you could do Canelo against whoever on there, and I'm not sure the numbers are going to be that great. I don't think if Joshua had fought Usyk on DAZN, I don't think the numbers would have been that great. And I'll tell you this, if Joshua fights Fury, right, I think BT will be the main channel. And what I mean by that is, if they both go 50, like if they say they split it, they do pay-per-view on DAZN and pay-per-view on BT, I think BT, most people will get it on BT. Because DAZN are going to have to put something... Look, you have to pay membership for BT as well. You have to pay a monthly, whatever. But I just think BT is going to be a lot more easily accessible than DAZN. So I think people are going to... I think what people are going to do, I think people are going to get it on BT. So I think BT are probably going to get the majority of the pay-per-view buys. And this is what I mean. And I think that would be... That would be a great measuring stick. That would be a great measuring stick, right? To see if people want to consume the content on DAZN or they want a mainstream platform like a BT. I think that would be a great measuring stick. To see if, you know, that people actually want to see the fight on a BT or DAZN. And let's see who does bigger pay-per-view numbers if they do manage to make that fight and they have that fight as a split pay-per-view on BT and DAZN. But yeah, it's not good for DAZN right now. I don't think, you know, it looks like these numbers have flopped, and I'm pretty sure they were expecting far bigger numbers. Think about it. It did 1.06 million pay-per-view buys around the world. Golovkin Canelo, just the first time they fought, did 1.2 or 3 million just in America at the same price point. You know, this is half. I mean, I think that tells you all you need to do. And here's the thing. I think the catch is, when you look at Canelo and Plant's pay-per-view numbers, and then you look at Canelo and Bivol's pay-per-view numbers, I mean, it was almost 300,000 pay-per-views down. You know, so again, it is what it is. I don't know whether DAZN is going to be successful. I'm not sure, but time will tell. Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.